So a few days ago, we spoke about what synchronicities actually mean. And we also talked about that if you're an HSP, psychic, or empath, you're probably going to receive more synchronicities than the average bear. And that's totally okay. And in this video, I want to share with you the life-altering and possibly life-saving skill that every HSP and empath needs to have. Now, this skill is actually important for everyone, but I think it's really important, like doubly important, triple, quadruply important for HSPs and empaths. Why? Because HSPs and empaths are naturally more sensitive than those who aren't quite as empathic. Now, everyone has the ability to be empathic, but empaths and HSPs are different. We're much more sensitive to the energy that people are giving out. We're much more sensitive to the energy of a room, of a location. We're much more sensitive to the emotions of other people, and we typically want what's best for other people. So the well-being of others is very important to us. That's why we tend to be caregivers and people pleasers until you back us into a corner. We've had enough, right? But even then, HSPs and empaths are very generous souls. So if anyone ever claims to be an HSP or empath, and they're probably the most selfish person you've ever met, either they are in survival mode and they are going through a very significant trauma, or they're a liar. They're not an HSP or empath, because I have yet to meet a selfish HSP or empath. They just don't exist. Those are narcissists in disguise. Those are narcissists claiming to be HSPs and empaths because they want to gain your trust. They want to get something out of you. And that's really frustrating, right? Because we all know HSPs and narcissists and empaths and narcissists are kind of attracted to each other. They do this little dance. And the truth is that empaths and HSPs are not attracted to narcissists, because the truth is, if we knew their true intentions and we knew their true colors, we wouldn't be around them. We're not attracted to that. No, thank you. Narcissists are 100% attracted to HSP and empaths because we are nice, because we are giving, because we are intuitive, because we like to help, and because narcissists can benefit greatly from us and from our forgiving and caring nature. So we have to be really careful with that. Now, the reality is that as an HSP or an empath, you're going to feel your feelings really deep, whether those feelings are happiness and joy, which is like, bring it on, yes please, more of that, or sadness, depression, anger. We tend to absorb and hold on to those emotions longer than other people do. We can't just snap our fingers and get over it. In fact, sometimes when it comes to normal talk therapy, we just end up feeling re-triggered and more upset. And so for some HPs and empaths, talk therapy doesn't do a lot for us, because when we talk about our trauma, when we talk about what's upset us or what's hurt us or who's betrayed us, we get back in those feelings, and it can be really hard to get out of. And so I want to share with you the method and really the technique that every empath and HSP needs. And that is a technique called self-soothing. Self-soothing. So with self-soothing, that is a way for you to calm your wounds after you've been hurt. Because the truth is, I cannot teach you any type of method that will prevent you from getting hurt. Yes, there is a white bubble meditation. Yes, there are different things that you can do and different situations and people you can avoid to limit how much hurt you feel, or limit what type of what type of situations are going to hurt you. So there's things you can do to limit the pain, but the reality is that we can't avoid it altogether, because people will let us down. Promises are broken, situations fall through, goals aren't met. Life can be and is very disappointing. Now, thankfully, it's not disappointing all the time. But when it is, man, that can be so hard to get through. That can be so hard to get past. And so we need to learn how to soothe ourselves to be able to bring ourselves back to center. And so if you are really in your emotions and you're really feeling something overwhelming, there's a couple things, well, really 3 things I would encourage you to do. And I consider this whole technique or this method or step-by-step practice, whatever you want to call it, to be a form of self-soothing. So the first is that you give yourself permission to feel what you feel. Okay, you don't have to feel ashamed for feeling guilty. You don't have to feel ashamed for feeling ashamed. Just let all those emotions come up and express them. If that means you need to cry, then do that. If you do best when you're journaling, look, you know what's best for you. You know how your emotions want to come out. So as long as you're not harming someone else or harming yourself or harming property, go for it. Punch some pillows, cry it up, do what you need to do, and do it in a safe space so that you feel safe letting those emotions out. The second step is actual self-soothing. So that's going to be where you're very compassionate to yourself. This is where your inner voice comes through. And so this is where you tell yourself, gosh, the situation that I'm going through is so hard. This is so hard. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. And you start talking to yourself in that way, very compassionately. But then you say, you know what? Tough times don't last, and this isn't going to last either. And I have faith in myself that I'll get this through, but this is really hard right now. So you really kind of talk to yourself the way that you would talk to a small child or to your best friend. Because if your best friend, or any friend really, was going through something really difficult, you would say, oh my gosh, that's so sorry. Like, I wish there was something more I can do to help, but I'm here to listen to you if that's what you need. Like, how can I help you? What can I do? And then as your friend talks to you, you'd say, you know what? I know this may not help right now, but I have all the faith in the world in you. I know you're going to figure this out. This is a hard time right now, so let it be a hard time. But I believe in you. You know, this is going to work out. This is going to be okay. So that's a form of self-soothing. And even different affirmations or statements of truth, whatever you call them, can be really helpful too. So something like, I can handle this. And you do this again after you've had that emotional release. So when I talk about the emotional release, I mean you've cried yourself out, you've punched the pillows as much as you can, right? This is the next step when you're feeling a little exhausted or a little calm after letting those emotions come through. You now say things like, I am divinely guided and protected, or I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. You know, whatever it is that you need to hear at that point, that's what you do. But I want you to take it a little step further. I want you to figure out what type of physical touch is going to make you feel safe and soothed. So maybe crossing your arms or hugging your shoulders like this is going to feel good. I know some people like to gently, they'll maybe gently pat their arms and they'll just tell themselves, I'm okay, like I'm safe, this is good, this is okay, like this is hard right now, but I'm gonna get through it. Or maybe you even just give yourself like a little head massage and you tell yourself, I'm okay, I'm releasing all this stress right now, I'm gonna figure this out. The universe didn't take me this far just to drop me on my butt and leave me here. You start reminding yourself that it's okay to have those emotions, that you're in a tough situation, and that you're going to get through this one way or another, right? So it can be very soothing to affirm to ourselves that we're in a bind, right? And I know that there's other spiritual gurus and teachers out there that are teaching you otherwise. But for me, when I've denied my experience and I've done the positive affirmations, that just makes me feel yuck. And I've never really seen that for myself gain enough momentum to be able to change the circumstance. For me and for others like me, and again, we are HSPs and empaths, so the way that we're wired and the way that we manifest and the way that we deal with the world and show up for the world is going to be different than other people. It is. Just take my word for it. And you already know that because you can feel it, right? You sense that, you know it. You've tried following other procedures put out by law of attraction teachers or life coaches. You've tried their way and you gave it your all and it didn't work. And it didn't work for you because you were told to deny your reality. And for HSPs and empaths and more sensitive personality types, denying our reality doesn't work. We have to acknowledge it. We have to feel it. We have to allow all those emotions come up. And then we start working with it. And then we start creating the new frame. But it starts with allowing our emotions to come through, acknowledging how hard it is, and doing those self-soothing techniques where we're telling ourselves, this is hard. Yeah, this is really difficult. And I think that when you give yourself permission to acknowledge that, even that allows you to feel this release. It's like this weight gets lifted off of your shoulder because you're not lying to yourself. You're not trying to change the situation at that point. You're just saying, oh, this is hard. Like, this is exhausting. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what my next step is. And it's okay if that's where you are right now. It's frustrating. It's uncomfortable. It's the worst feeling in the world. But it's okay because you're not going to stay there, right? So the third part of the self-soothing is being able to get yourself to a point where you're able to, I want to say, connect to your consciousness, connect to your higher self, connect to your own spirit. Because when we are in a sense of trauma, we can be really in our body and really in our feelings and really in the situation, and we might feel a disconnect from our spirit. And so we want to change that. We want to connect to that. And so what we do is you can place one hand on your heart, place the other on your stomach, and just close your eyes and breathe. And just make it your intention to connect with your soul. Make it your intention to connect with your consciousness. And in that space, this very, very holy space, there doesn't have to be any words. There doesn't have to be any intent other than to just make that connection, to feel whole. And you'll know when you feel it. You'll know when you're there because something just kind of clicks, right? You do start to feel more centered, and you can feel your spirit in your body, or maybe you get an image in your mind or a symbol, but there is something that's going to happen that shows you that that alignment has happened. Right? Because if you're feeling disconnected from your spirit, then, you know, your spirit is not fully, or your body is not fully aware of your spirit. It's kind of disconnected. And so we want to get back into tune with our own higher self, with our own consciousness. And so we do that just by giving ourselves permission and setting the intention to get back into alignment, to focus on our soul and our spirit, and to blend that force back with our body. And I know that sounds a little strange. And for some of you are like, what is she talking about? Just trust me, just try it. You don't have to understand it completely. Again, it's just making that intention that your soul and your body are going to be reunited, and that you want to be centered in yourself, centered in your body, centered in your spirit. And as you make that your intention, and as you focus on it and you breathe, you will start to feel that alignment happen. You will start to feel that shift. And once you're there, you might want to practice doing this for a few days and get more centered into yourself. Allow your soul to be even more present with you. And once you feel comfortable, that's when you can start asking your own soul, your own consciousness, your own higher self, different questions. You may ask, like, what do I need to know about this situation right now? And you might get a one-word answer. Like when I've been doing this lately, I've been hearing wait. Like, what do I need to know about the situation right now? I just hear wait. And there's no other advice. There's nothing else there. I'm just told to wait. Okay. But you might get an image. You might get some type of sensation where you feel pulled to do something or go somewhere. There's a lot of different ways that your intuition, that your consciousness, that your spirit, that your higher self will talk to you. So just be open to the different ways that that comes forward to you. So that is my method for really grounding yourself. And I really do believe that this is something every HSP and empath needs to learn, because it helps you to come back home to yourself. Because when we are overwhelmed by a situation, when we are in trauma, we naturally want to reach out to other people. We want to connect with them. And sometimes well-meaning people give really bad advice. And the reality is that this is your life. You need to do what works for you. And so when you're able to come back home to yourself, when you're able to integrate your body, mind, spirit, and emotions so that they're all working in harmony. And don't be surprised if when you first start doing this, it feels like certain parts of yourself are fighting yourself. That's natural. It takes some time to get everything integrated. But once you get there, you can still reach out to your friends and your community and ask for advice and seek that connection. But at that point, it's going to be, I want to say easier for yourself, or rather, you're going to be better at making decisions for your own life. You know, I've had several well-meaning friends give me really bad advice when I was in the midst of trauma, or even when I was excited about something or someone, but something fell out or felt off. My friends would be like, go for it, go check it out anyway, go, whatever it was, even though my spirit was saying, don't do it, this isn't going to end well. And I listened to that advice. I jumped in head first and got hurt because I didn't listen to myself. And you always want to listen to yourself first. And maybe by doing that, you'll get hurt. Maybe you won't. But sometimes we need to do what feels best for us. Well, actually, always we need to do what feels best for us, because this is our life story, right? You are living your life story. You are the character in your play, in your story. So you need to do what's best for you. And what feels right for you may not always turn out to be the best situation. But I think that sometimes when we connect with our spirit and our consciousness, that our spirit's going to lead us towards the path that is best for us in that moment. But it's also going to lead us towards what we need to know and what we need to do in order to become stronger, or in order to learn some type of a lesson so that we can be better people, so we can grow. Because really, life about here on earth, I believe, is about growth, and it's about mastery. And you can't have growth or mastery without lessons. And yes, I know lessons get tiring. I'm right there with you. I'm kind of done with the lessons. Like, I'm tired of the lessons, but I'm in the middle of a big one. And I hope I ace it, and I hope I ace it soon, and I hope I get a break from all the lessons, because they can be crumbing, right? They're not always fun. So when you're in a fun lesson, enjoy it. And when you're in the hard ones, buckle down, learn how to self-soothe, and remember, you're an HSP, you're an empath. My friend, you're going to master this. You are going to get through this. You have the skills necessary and required to get through the hard time you're going through. You do. You do. And I know that's hard to believe right now, especially when you're confused, or you're in the midst of the trauma, or maybe you're in a situation that you can't get out of right now. There's always a way out. The universe does provide, but it's not always easy. It's not always pretty, right? And so you have to have faith in yourself, and you have to have faith in your ability to get through this, because you will get through this. And I have faith in you. And this whole community right here, we all have faith in you, okay? So when you're starting to feel down on yourself, save this video, bookmark it, do whatever you have to do, and come back to it. When you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like you can't make it another day, when you forget how to self-soothe, when you forget that you have the strength to get through this, come back to this video. Watch it again. Remind yourself of who you are and what you're capable of. And it's sometimes helpful just to remember that you're wired differently. And that's not a bad thing. It just is what it is, right? It's not bad. All of us are different flavors of the universe. None of us are the same. We're not carbon copies of each other. We're all wired differently. And you're wired differently. And that's fine. And it just means that you're going to have to learn how to maneuver through different situations differently. That's all. And I'm here to help you with that. I absolutely am. So I believe that HSPs and empaths are all psychic. I believe that we all have different psychic abilities. In fact, I believe that is a psychic ability. And so if it's something you struggle with, if you look at being HSP or an empath as just being a curse and you hate it, I hear you. I've been there too. I want to invite you to check out the free meditation that I have that helps people to embrace their psychic abilities and to remember that these are God-given gifts. And so if that's something you struggle with, check out the meditation that I have for you. It's absolutely free, and the link to it is in the description down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.